Why did I get this? What's up, Transformers fan? Mondo here, back with week 37 of Moonbase 84's year-long celebration, celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. And I think we have a pretty fun one for this week, because we're going to be taking a look at this custom Grimlock crossover with Super Mario. And we're going to start by taking a look at the packaging, because I absolutely love this packaging. I think they did a really good job. Starters, very thick cardboard, so a quality box. And as you can see, you've got Grimlock, and he's actually done up in Yoshi colors, so that's really cool. And of course we get the Nintendo and Super Yoshi World, actually. I said Mario Brothers theme, Super Mario theme, but really cool, nice blend of Transformers and Nintendo / Mario. See here, we've got that graphic, the G1 Grimlock, but in Yoshi colors, pixelated Mario riding Yoshi. You got the Grim himself in the back, nice background in there to look just like the Mario game. You even get a little Mario figure, Nintendo logo. Hopefully I don't get copywritten or anything by Nintendo, because this is not official. That's why the thumbnail just says Custom Grimlock. Super Nintendo Entertainment System. You've got the Transformers and Super Yoshi World with Super Nintendo on the top panel. On the very top, you get a Super Nintendo cartridge graphic with Grimlock and Mario riding him. Really cool. And on the sides, you get, like I said, it's a nice blend of what they're going for and the G1 Grimlock. Really cool. Both sides, I believe, are the same. The bottom is pretty much the same too. And then on the back, where you would usually get the G1 artwork, you get a cartridge, some images from the Super Yoshi World game or Mario World, and you do get the tech spec, and it is what the G1 Grimlock tech spec is, but again, he's done up in his Yoshi colors. And it's funny because instead of robot points, you get, well, it says robot points, but you get a little toad symbol. So really fun packaging, and again, nice thick cardboard stock. So I'm going to open him up, and I'm going to try to take him out carefully, because both figures are on a bubble, and I don't want to ruin that nice backdrop. So I will be right back, and we'll check out the figures. So here's Yoshlock, or Grimshi, out of the box with everything that comes in the set. You do still get the instruction booklet, traditional G1 type instruction booklet, and you also do get the tech spec decoder. You get, make sure everything doesn't fall, the sticker sheets. Let's see, they look like they're cut a little bit better than the KO Grimlock that we went over in a previous celebration episode. You get the rub symbol. I don't know if it works. Oh, it works really nice. So cool, a working rub symbol, so really cool. And you get the standard Grimlock weaponry. We've got his chromed out missiles, his missile launcher, his double barrel blaster, and you get his sword, but it's not red, it's white, and I believe it's painted white, because you can see some, if its camera is very bright white, but you can see some rough paint work here and some blemishes along the tip of the blade and along the blade itself. And also very tacky. I will say there's some tackiness to this Grimlock, not meaning having a Yoshi Grimlock is tacky, but paint wise. And then we do get a Mario, which we don't get with a traditional G1 Grimlock, doing his jump up yay pose or whatever. And he does, I was surprised, he does have a little bit of articulation. His arms rotate, his head swivels a bit. And he's supposed to be able to ride on Grimlock somehow. Let's see if we can get him on there. You know what? You could probably get him on there, but the real test for me, even though it is a Mario Nintendo themed set, Yoshi, can little Jeff Goldblum ride him? And yes, he can. But yeah, if I wanted to do some finagling, I could get that Mario on there. But I think I would have to heat up the legs, the plastic on the legs again to spread a little bit more. But yeah, pretty cool. Taking a look at Grimlock himself, it is your standard G1 Grimlock, painted up to look like Yoshi. And I mentioned the tackiness of the paint. I'm not sure. He does feel tacky, and he has a weird paint smell. And it does in places look like it was painted. See, I thought maybe, because obviously this is a knockoff Grimlock done up like Yoshi. I highly doubt the people making these are using actual original G1 Grimlocks. But in places he feels tacky, but I was thinking they just used, instead of the gray plastic we get with Grimlock, that they would use the green, and maybe instead of like the chrome, they'd be white. But I don't know, the tackiness makes me feel different. The eye, the white eye, could be painted because maybe this was cast in green, but in here it feels a little tacky, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe when we transform him up, we'll get a better hint at that. The dark clear plastic, even darker than the knockoff. Even the details in there, they're not chromed, they're painted like a, it's hard to see in the camera, like a tannish or beigeish. But yeah, I love the greens and the whites on him. The white being so bright really makes it pop, and then you go down to the feet and you get some orange and yellow. But besides that, your standard G1 Grimlock. Won't really go too much into articulation or anything. G1 toys were limited anyway, and by now most of us do know what a G1 Grimlock can do in both modes. I will say also, which makes me think that it might have been painted, like at least the arms, they're very tight, but that could just be tolerances. I don't know, and here you see the jaw, the bottom jaw, all white all the way through, so maybe that's plastic. I'm not sure, I'm not an expert. But what we're going to do is transform him up, and we'll take a look at Yoshlock in robot mode, or Grimshi. So here's Yoshlock. I still don't know which one, Grimshi or Yoshlock. Comment below to let me know what sounds better. I'm leaning towards Yoshlock. But anyway, here he is. Very vibrant, as you can see, because now his chest is totally exposed, which is that white. I wanted to check out to make sure he could hold his weapons. He does, which is really cool. We'll take a closer look. Now, I do have some answers to the paint versus molded plastic debate, definitely in some aspect, because he was very tight, just like his arms were in Dino mode and stuff, to transform, and I was really worried I was going to break him when you pop back his dinosaur head and fold out his little wings. I was very nervous that something was going to break. It was very tight, but in doing so, we do get a glimpse. Unfortunately, that I say he's very tight, and then that part's loose though once it's free. But I don't know if you can see it in this sea of white, but you do see some blemishes from where it was so tight and it scraped from opening it, and it here and here and down in here, and it's actually shiny. So I'm wondering if this was painted over or not. They just took the knockoff Grimlock and painted it themselves, so they didn't cast it in those colors, which kind of stinks because that's where the tackiness comes from, but also that's where you're going to get some scrapes and scuffs, which kind of stinks. But yeah, still pretty cool. Do have a paint issue. Let's get his arms down here and get closer. As you can see with his eyes, very sloppy paintwork. It runs down. I know someone that could probably fix that for me, so I'm not too bothered by it. But yeah, sloppy, little sloppy. You do still get the clear plastic with, and more of that beige instead of gold behind it. A little hit of yellow at the crotch area, and then of course just the greens and everything we saw, and the whites and the yellow and the orange. But really cool. I just like the color scheme, the Yoshi color scheme here. But as I said, pretty much confirmed most of this is painted. You see here, well, if you get real close, the yellow there is a little sloppy, but not terrible. But yeah, just I love this thing. I'm sorry, even with you know, the potential of it breaking on me because it's so tight, and I think that's due to it being painted now. But it's weird because if they did paint it, they even went and painted in there. That's why I thought maybe it was cast. In that I thought when we opened them up, we'd see this as, if it was painted, I thought we would see this as a different color, but it does look like paint marks in there. So yeah, I'm sure if not all of it, a lot of it is painted, and it leads to that scraping problems, which is unfortunate. Like I said, I know someone that's much better with models and things like that than I am, because I'd be terrible. That could touch up the rough spots. But yeah, still really cool, still really fun. I saw this come up from China, and I said, I need this in my collection. Now for me, when I first got this and took them out of the shipping box and checked them out, my biggest dilemma was, this box is too cool. It's too good to even open him and check him out. But I wanted to check him out, and I wanted to share that with you. But besides that, deciding that, I said, well, am I going to display him out of box, put him back in the box or whatever, or out of box or in box? I'm tongue-tied, but anyway. But I think for now, because of the, you know, the paint problems, you know, scraping and stuff, and because in the box he looks awesome, and it's just a great setup. I think I'm gonna for now keep him in the box, because this is definitely something that you buy to display and you don't play around a lot with. If it was cast in the plastic colors, you know, their colors, the proper colors, then I would probably keep him out and play with him more. But because I'm saying the same thing over again, but as I said, because of the tightness and the scraping issues, I think I'm going to pack it, you know, transform him back up into dino mode and just keep him in there. And it's just something to look, and you know, from time to time I might take him out, but something, just a cool Grimlock piece to have in the collection. So after all that rambling, I'm on a ramble tangent today. But after all that rambling, to answer my question that I asked myself at the beginning of the video, why did I get this? Because to me, it's fun as hell and just awesome. Problems aside, maybe down the road I'll get another one, keep one totally sealed, and have one out to mess with and let it get scraped up. But besides that, if I don't, it's okay, because I know I have an original G1 Grimlock and knockoff G1. I got plenty of this Grimlock. So to have this one in the box just looking cool and the awesome Nintendo packaging would be fine with me. I also am not going to apply the stickers on this guy down the road. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this fun Grimlock, fun little custom Grimlock. I think he's pretty cool. For this week's episode of Moonbase 84's year-long celebration, celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. And until next time, thank you for putting up with my rambling. Thanks for all the support you give to our channel, and also thanks for docking.